welcome back. We are going to start getting some covering on this Flyin King. I went through this morning about 3-4 hours ago and finished applying my sticks like I did in the last episode to the other side. It's nice and dry now, so we can go ahead and start laying some covering. Now I'm going to do this one piece here in its entirety, and to the point of ready for paint, and then I'll probably do the rest of it in time lapse or off camera. So anyways, tools that you're going to need: obviously you're going to need the covering. To apply the covering, you're going to need a heat sealing iron set on a lowish temperature. You want to start low and work your way up. You just want to adhere this down. This is thick koverall, so it does have shrinking tendencies to it. You're also going to need a sharp knife. And I use these scissors. They're getting a little dull, but these are serrated edges for cutting fabric out. They work pretty well, but like I said, they are getting just a teeny bit dull, so we'll have to deal with that. So let's flip over to this other side here, and I got my covering already spread out. You can see there's quite a bit here. And then the other thing I tried to do also when get you in view here. How's that? That's pretty good. So we'll start with this small piece here. I try to, like when I'm doing these smaller rudder and stuff, I try to get it in, one piece. So let's see what's going to be the best way to do this. So maybe like that, and then since that's straight, we can wrap it around like that. Yeah. So something like that will make our pieces a little big. Like I said, I need to get a new pair of shears here. There we go. It cuts pretty nice if you use one of these. The reason why you want to use one of these scissors is because it leaves an edge like that, and it won't have a tendency to pull on you and pull apart, because it is fabric. It's a lot like fiberglass. So now that we got our piece covered, or piece here, I'm going to switch back to the other side here. Oops. Good catch, right? So, anyways, you want some overlap. And all I've done is I put the stick sit on my border. There's no stick sit in the middle, so you don't have to adhere it to the back side. We'll start on a small piece here. And let's see, how's that? Probably a little bit more. You just want to adhere it down to where it's sticking. Yep, there we go. You can pull on it and tug on it. This does have quite a bit of shrinking to it. And what you're doing is you're just getting that glue. It'll soften it up and it'll come through. And I generally speaking don't use a sock on this, because it'll get on that sock and really make a mess, like you would with regular covering. Should clean that iron up a little bit. Don't forget the ironing trick here to using I use a dryer sheet to clean the iron, so you don't get that transfer of crap on there. This stuff's been sitting around for a while, so it's quite a bit more wrinkly than what it usually is. I'm damp. Maybe a little more heat. But anyways, it's a lot like just putting down covering, your plastic iron on covering. And just start pulling it out and tacking it around the outside edges here. So I'll take and wrap it. I did all these edges here. I'm just going to wrap this around. Okay. Then we'll trim off the excess. Now remember, like covering with, I'm going to keep going back to monocoat, but covering with monocoat, just like covering with monocoat, you want to keep in mind your seams and where they're at, because if you're running a fuel glow engine like I would imagine a lot of you guys still are, hopefully. I'm just trying to work my wrinkles out here. I should have probably stored this a little bit better. I'm just working this edge right here. It's all I'm worried about. Getting it nice and tight and wrapping it around. You can see how nice it stretches out there. I almost think I need to turn my iron up a little more. Sometimes you can feel it get a little gummy underneath. I mean, that way it's it's adhering. Like that doesn't want to do for some reason. Might have to put a little bit more sticks it down. Right there. We'll keep working it though. Huh. That ain't turning out too bad. Let's see if we can get this overlap done without having to add more. This is usually where I run into a few problems with it. Where the sticks that won't come all the way through, see, like that. Let's go ahead and trim this side up. Come on. I know you got it in you there, scissors. These are pretty old scissors. Oh. They're a lot older than I thought. Remember them being. Or was it full a little bit? There it goes. Yeah, it's the trick. Just pull a little bit on your seam there, and okay. Yeah, I know, how exciting, right? I don't know why. That section just won't adhere down. That's weird. That whole corner's like that. I'm gonna have to add more sticks to it, and what I'm kind of thinking. Maybe I just need to slow down a little bit. It has been See, it's just peeling right back up. You're trying to get the glue to, see that? It's just peeling right back up. It's like there's nothing there. I wonder if I missed an area. That would not surprise me one bit. Try to get it down here in the corner maybe. And I'm only using moderate pressure on the iron here too. Anyways, I needed a razor knife. Alright, put a fresh blade on it. An X-Acto blade here. About a seam right there. Not as much as the one as the other side. Now we're left with a little gap there. Turn it up a little more. What's the directions say? Okay, it doesn't give a heat range on there. It did say 2 to 3 coats, especially if you thin it like we did here. And I have never thinned Stix-It before. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe I overdid it a little too much. Yeah. Alright, well that's where, like I said, I've run into problems before with our overlaps. You can see where it's lifted in some places. So what I'm going to do, I'll do this off camera. I'll apply another coat of sticks to it, and then let that dry for a couple hours. Remember when I told you this was time consuming? This is why, because of stuff like this. I mean, even when you have the adhesion down. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and run this full strength like I always have done. Now that's stuck. Kinda. So, yeah, I'll do that off camera real quick. And we'll get, like I said, you got to let it dry. And once it's dry, then you can go ahead and do more covering. And once I got this all wrapped up, I will bring you back and we will get it shrunk. And we will get our dope down, our nitrate clear down to start filling the leaf. So, anyways, I'll bring it back when I have more progress to show you, I suppose. Alright, so I went ahead and added some more, yeah, some more sticks, and it's already dry. Now, I was always told to let this stuff cure overnight, but I've had some luck on the Spitfire build with just applying it, wait until it's dry to the touch, and then covering it, and then you know, doing my covering thing here. So let's get you guys a little better screenshot here. All right, that's pretty good there. Okay. Got my iron heating up. I went ahead and turned it back down. Much better. Let's see. Yep. So like I said, you can, it says to dilute, but dilute sparingly. I was going off of some recommendations and hoping keeping. Probably gonna have to move the camera around quite a bit on this one. Sorry about that. To go ahead and dilute it 50%, and that was on a forum on, I believe, RC groups with dealing with this. And I don't think I'd recommend it. And see, that works pretty good. Now that we got that stuck down, we can go ahead and stick this top down, because I had some more to that. I went ahead and went back over the fuselage so I can get that drying. Okay. Like I said, I got my temperature iron set here. It says 112. This is a Hanger 9 unit. So, I mean, it's warm, but I can't hold my hand on it for very long, but okay. And then we got that overlap, so we will, and if you pull this, it seems like it cuts a little better. The knife is not ideal to cut, but if you have a sharp blade, you can see how stringy it's getting. You know, when you cut it with a knife as opposed to the fabric scissors. See? I don't know if you can see that on, yeah, there you go. You know. Maybe some of you guys have done this before. There's not a lot of videos out here, you know, kind of showing this process. And that's why I decided to make a video of it. And I've read other comments. Now, it might be a lot like fiberglass, where, and I think that's what I ended up doing on my, you hear me refer to my Spitfire a lot. That's the first one I tried this process on. I'll have to, we're going to get that down soon and But anyways, fiberglass, you know, when you're fiberglassing, you can leave your links a little long. And see, that's not adhering down either. And by leaving it long, when you put your resin on there, you go over your edges a little bit, and that stiffens the fabric up and holds it together a little more and makes it easier to trim to get more accurate cuts. You see, it's just, sometimes it's a pain to work with, but the reason why, a lot of guys might be asking why you go through the process of doing all this, and the reason for that is that you can get unique coloring schemes, and it's the durability of it, and it's cost effective. I mean, this is not a very expensive process. You know, to cover this plane in monocoat or ultra coat, you're talking $25-30 a roll, and to cover the whole plane in one color, you're probably talking 3 rolls. So you add colors to that, there's another roll. So, you know, $100 to $150 depending on what you're doing. So anyways, the next step here is to get the heat gun out. And like I said, this stuff will shrink like monocoat. Let me get that out. This thing's got an insanely long cord on it, so I don't have to plug it into the extension cord. And then, you know, low heat. You want to move quickly. You want to keep moving. You don't want to stay in one spot. And talk about long-lasting stuff too. I mean, this stuff will last probably, unfortunately, every plane's got an expiration date longer than the plane will survive. Have a little bit peel up there. So, yeah. There you go. So, anyways, I gotta be right back. I got a few things to take care of. I will come back and we'll start applying our filler base to this. Alright, next process here is to fill the weave. Now, depending on what kind of finish you want is how much you're going to fill the weave with. We're going to use nitrite, clear, to fill it. You can brush it in, you can spray it in. We really don't need that much. Got a little mini solo cup here. Kind of cute, aren't they? Rest in peace, Toby Keith, I guess. Hey, for sure. So anyways, we're going to start just brushing this on. Thin, light coats. And it'll absorb right into You'll be able to see it. Now this is, like I said, this is stinky stuff, so you know I'm going to be stupid and not wear a respirator. But you know, if you're, you know, have allergies or whatever, or you don't like the stench, recommend doing this. I'm pretty well ventilated in here, but you know, after I get a coat on here and let it dry. Now I'm going after a monocoat finish on this, so I will be doing the full three coats. But if you wanted, like, say you're doing a you know, World War II model, or you want a lighter finish, then less coats and let the weave show through a little bit. Also, they make shrinking nitrite and butyrate, I do believe. Might be just nitrite. I don't remember off the top of my head. I know they make like a shrinking stuff. You don't want that with this. You want just straight up nitrite. And remember, you can put, I can't emphasize this enough, you can't put your butyrate and then put nitrate on top of it. You got to go nitrate butyrate. We got a nice little handle down here to get the other side. I will probably do like the wings and the fuselage. I'll probably end up spraying this out. I think you get a little better, you know, finish if you do that. But I'm just showing that, yes, you can brush this stuff on. And these are just little chip brushes. I mean, they're nothing fancy. They're real cheap, and pretty much when you're done using them, you throw them away. I think I just went down to the hardware store and bought some, and it was like $1.90 or $1.49 for a small one, and $1.99 for something like this size. You don't have to get it all, just got to start getting it on there. And this will, see, I got a big goop right there. There we go. First coat applied. You can see some of the splotchiness in there. We'll get that on a second coat. It's already starting to cure. So here in a few minutes, we'll give it about 15 minutes to dry. I'm going to throw it on, put this in my vise so I don't have to, you know, you obviously can't lay it down. That's another thing is, you know, if you're doing something like this, make sure you got a way to hang on to it and you have a way to secure it. You know, otherwise you're going to do one side and let it dry and then flip it over and do another side and let it dry. And then just keep going back and forth with your coats until you're happy with how filled the weave is. So, yeah, I'll bring you back when we're doing another coat here. Alright, well that is dry to the touch. I went ahead and went back over and shrunk it down some more because a wrinkle developed down here and down here. I could probably do a little bit more there, but I think I'm happy with that. One thing I also forgot to mention, the red cups. Don't use them. That damn dope reacted with it. Dig it out of the garbage here. Yeah. So I had to go throw a little bit of nitrate away and get yeah, get it thrown away before it made a huge mess. That's why there's some discoloration in the covering on there. Where did my... There we go. Alright, work. No, I've never found a reason or read anywhere where you need to really sand between coats. So, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to find a better jar. Should have done that first. There we go. Yay. Last jar. I'm going to go ahead and throw another coat on here real quick. We'll just fill it up. That way I ain't gotta constantly open this up. Let's see. Oh yeah. I don't remember. I think that's just thinner in there. If I remember right. Oh, we'll have to get you product. I mean, we're still a little ways away from getting paint on this thing, but we're getting there. One step at a time. And then it'll probably be helpful to make some labels for this stuff. And all I'm doing is just, like I said, I want to fill this weave. I'm doing real light coats. This is not a process that you want to rush. I like to do this in one get-go, but for YouTube and demonstration things, we're just going to focus on this rudder, because I mean everything else is going to get the same treatment. So there we go. This stuff doesn't flow out too well. You can see some brush strokes in here and stuff, but I mean, for the most part, they pretty much disappear. You don't want any runs. Obviously. And then if I remember correctly, I think once we get the nitrate down, we go over it with this is why I don't like brushing stuff on, because you got a little hair come off the brush and it sticks in there, and then when you paint you can see it. Another one right there. Anyways, that's all there is really to it. I mean, you just keep brushing this stuff on, and obviously the more coats you get in there, the more it'll fill the weave. And then you know, the less it's going to take to fill the weave. If that makes any sense. So lighter, you know, the coat, it'll go a lot faster. Once you're done there. So anyways, I like to do this process. Like I said, I try to get everything, I guess I can get my ugly mug in the picture here. There we go. I try to get everything done at once when I'm doing this, so I'll go through and do all my the sticks it, and then once that's done, I'll start covering things, and I get as much covered as I can, and then go back through and reapply the sticks to areas that need it, and seal everything down. And then once everything's done, then you go over, and you can, like I said, you can throw this through a paint can. Probably get a little bit better results. I don't know if that's a wrinkle or that's a wrinkle. Sorry. You can spray this stuff. You do have to reduce it to spray it through a can. I would highly recommend like an high pressure, low volume, or low pressure, high volume LPH, something, what I'm talking about, the guns that got the tops on. And it does go a little further, and it does go a little quicker, and you got a little bit more control over it rather than brushing it on. I tried to brush everything on the Spitfire. Ended up not really liking the areas that I was teaching myself how to do this with, and went out and bought one of them cheap guns from Harbor Freight, 18, 19 bucks, and it got me through the whole process. So like I said, I usually don't do it this way, but for demonstration purposes, we'll do that. I did get the elevator covered. I'll bring it over here. That went extremely well. It's nice and tight. And like I said, I got to apply more sticks adhered to these edges so it'll stick down. So I'll do that. And then I also started on the fuselage. And I started on the bottom here. And I try to wrap everything as much as I can. Like I said, keep in mind your seams and how you're going to keep things feel proof. So I started at the bottom and worked my way around. And I got the firewall all done here. This laid down super nice. We're not going to poke any holes or cut anything open until after it's painted. That way we don't have glue in our blind nuts there. So that's kind of my thought process there. Next step will be getting the sides done. And then getting the top put on. So it'll go pretty quick. I'm going to order some paint this week, and I think I'm going to need a few more supplies, and then we'll get our colors coming and go from there. So I'll bring you back when I got more to show you, because I don't know how much more time I got to take off this afternoon, but hang out with my daughter tomorrow. Hey, it doesn't matter, but we'll get some more done here. So all right, so last night and this morning I got the other two coats on, and I tell you what, that's smooth. I mean, yeah, you can still feel the fabric, but very, very happy with the way that turned out. And I mean, this is strong. It ain't, there's no wrinkles in it. Got a little bit of goober up here. So what I'm going to try next is, by my understanding, is you can take the sand to remove. Maybe we can get rid of that fluff there. I'm not pushing. I'm letting let me get you over here real quick. Wearing my National Fun Fly shirt from a couple years ago. And anyways, I'm just going to lightly sand that, and that's already starting to smooth out a little bit. And I think the biggest thing is you want to sand the surface and not get into your fabric. If you get into your fabric, then you're going to have to reapply. It's this leading edge that's already. I wish you guys could feel this. I mean, that was like a saw blade before. Now it's just nice and smooth. So we're just, like I said, no pressure. Just letting the sandpaper do the work. I'm trying not to get. Oh yeah, I think that's good. Maybe a little bit more right there. This could be, bubbles and build up from, the 3 coats of nitrate that we put down. The only issue that I have is, I don't know if you can see that or not, right there on the edge of my fingertip. There's a little rust bristle got impregnated in there, and you can just barely feel it. Of course, we don't want anything down here because that's our gluing surface. And you see how quick that's coming off there. Like I said, just real light. And I mean, like I said, you can still feel this, but feel that it's a fabric coating. But I would imagine after we get a coat of paint on this, it's probably going to fill it in even more. This was a good piece to do this on if you've never done the build on or covered with coverall before. Would highly recommend either start with a small piece like this, get through the process, maybe even go into paint. I don't have the paint here, so I can't go that far with it just quite yet. We'll have to do that next weekend. But we'll see if that brush bristle shows up. It's a trainer, and I want it to be nice, but I'm not gonna sweat too much over a brush bristle in the paint job. So yeah, so there's that. So where am I at now? Well, this is ready for paint, and then I've been working on the fuselage here. Get you over here. The elevator I haven't worked on quite yet, but I got pretty much both sides covered in the bottom. I started in the bottom and I worked my way to the sides, and then when I get this done I'm going to do the top. But now I'm at a point where some of it's not sticking, like right up here, so I'm going to have to reapply here so you can see what I'm talking about. Some of this isn't sticking down quite right. There's hardly any sticks it on the top of the surface, and I held it there for a while trying to get it to soak through and come up, and it just wouldn't do it. So there's just not enough there to come through to a second layer. Like I said, I've had problems with before having to reapply. It even says in the directions that you may have to reapply your sticks to your seam. So I'm going to do that here in a minute. And I'm going to do the same to the elevator so I can button that up. I got some other problem areas back in the tail. I'm going to, as far as the window screens go, I'm going to get this thing completely filled with nitrate and everything. I haven't decided if I'm going to go all the way to paint or not with it. That would probably require a masking off so you're not getting paint on the inside of your plane. So I think I'll probably wait to cut the windows out until after we're done. And then the only thing I'm going to do as far as windows go is I think I'm going to take I got some 1/32 ply over there, and I think I'll cut the plywood out as a border, and then cut an oval out, that fits this, and then I'll apply the plastic. I will get some plastic and apply it to the back, and then I'll just glue it right to the surface. Might even go as far as to, I don't know, maybe do a few scale details on it. But I got some ideas as far as the window frames go, so I'm going to attempt some of that stuff. This will be window here, and then of course the front, and then these three side pieces all get lenses put in them. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I gotta apply the Stix-It now, and wait a couple hours for it to dry, and then once I get this done, I can move on to doing the wings. I may do some more building on them before I start covering them. I need to fit the flaps and the ailerons. And I know I cut the Bombay doors out, but I'm not sure where they went off to, so I might have to redo that. And I'd like to get those Bombay doors installed too. At least to the point where they're ready to glue in. Servo mounts and stuff like that. So I might do that this afternoon yet. So anyhow, I'm going to keep plugging away at this. I've been at it for, I don't know, it hasn't really taken long to cover. It's been more of the waiting process, waiting for glue to dry and stuff. And, you know, once I get everything covered, then I'll paint the filler in. You know, the nitrate clear. And then next weekend we'll be moving, hopefully, on to paint. So, anyhow, I'll bring you back when I got more to show you. Alright, so I got the fuselages all done. I was able to wrap this nose piece around the top, so I have no seam here, just a seam here. From what I understand, you want to keep your seams down to a minimum. That way you don't have to bury so many of them in there. We got the back part here done. I just wanted to show you, like, this went on really tight. But this didn't, obviously. You can see how wavy it is. And this is where, like I said, this stuff has quite a bit of shrink to it. And then that helps if I plug the gun in. So you can't be scared to have it be a little on the loose side. I mean, look at that. Not too hot. Just a quick whiff of heat is all you need. You know, look how fast that's shrinking. And we might have to, like I did on the rudder, might have to come back and after that first coat of our nitrate, and this is already pretty down, but look at that, it's just not much. You don't need much heat to shrink this stuff down. See, we already did that side. Well, just kiss it. I mean, it's just real quick. Okay. Well, I guess I didn't get the whole fuselage done. I still got to do the top here. So I went ahead and reapplied Stix-It to the top here. You know, across there. I need to do that right there because that's going to be a problem area. We'll see if we can get it down here and get that done. So anyways, lessons learned on this. First things first is I wasn't too impressed with thinning the Stix-It down. It seemed like it didn't have the adhesion properties that it needed to hold up to shrinking. So, you know, I wouldn't recommend doing that. I would put it on full coat Uh, I would plan on having to add more to your seams to get it to stick down. When you apply heat to the stick set, you can feel it grab. You can the iron will be nice and smooth, and then if you don't put any pressure on it, you just let this heat up. Okay, like this, just nice and light. You see, I'm not pushing. I'm just heating the stuff up, and it's yeah, you'll feel. It's hard to explain, but you'll feel the gumminess of it when it starts to melt, and that's when you know you got the adhesion. Uh, Current temperature is between uh, let's see, we're between 230 and 280 in that range. I know that's a broad range. That's where it's been sticking the best. You know, on my heat gun, it's, you know, you can see it. It's like right there. So it's left of center towards the cold side. If that helps you any. So yeah, so I got to get this top piece. I actually forgot about it. And well, let's see if I got a big enough piece of scrap here to get it. That looks all right. Look at that. Oh, this stuff does have a grain to it. You probably won't be able to see it on camera. But you can see it. It's lengthways here. Why is that important? I've never been told that it's or read anywhere that it the grain matters on the fuselage. I know it matters on the wing. So if you got an open, it's getting sticky. And then I mean, you'll feel it. You'll feel it get sticky. So anyways, on the wing, you want the grain, from what I've read, to go lengthways. And then that's if you don't, you know, on the wing, on the ribs, you'll have that concave. If you run it lengthways, it won't do that. It'll be nice and flat. So we'll try that when we get to the wing. I mean, I guess the nice thing about this is you can really stretch it out. I imagine it'd be pretty easy to put around, you know, wingtips and, you know, concave shapes if you're, you know, doing like a scale structure. I mean, look how much that's shrunk already. And of course, I ain't gonna have enough material there to. And I mean, you can see the sticks it here. You can see the line of the sticks it. There we go. I mean, the other thing is when you're doing the nitrite, it seals down your edges. And I know I didn't really show that on the rudder. And see, we're starting to get a bit of a crease here, so, you know, I like to pull. And I'm not tugging hard on this. I'm just giving it a light pull. And we can work that. Hopefully I'm not yeah, look at that. Just comes right out. And then don't be scared to hold it there for a minute either. If you're burning through it, you'll notice it right away. And we can also like do some light shrinking with the iron here. You don't need a heat gun to do this. It's just a little more quicker. Let's see. Will we get adhesion? Nope. See what I'm saying? Like, in all reality, I should put some Stixit in here. I'm going to try it with a little bit of nitrate, is what I'm going to do. Anyways, the other thing that I'm noticing is I've already, like I said, I've already done this on one plane, and these are getting quite dull now. These are older, and they're real sharp, like right in this area here. So if I pull a little bit and then cut and get it to where it's cutting in that area, it seems to cut just fine. And I'm not, like I said, once again, I'm not talking. I mean, you can really, you know, stretch this stuff out. You know. See what I mean? So, that's working okay. The other thing that's working okay is just a standard X-Acto blade knife. And then, what I'm doing here, I'm just giving it a light tug. And I'm letting the knife, I'm not pulling, I'm just letting it. And if it starts tearing, then you need a new blade. And then I'm not giving it much of an overlap here, 1/4 inch at the most. And I just put a new blade in here too, so you can see it's already starting to dull a little bit. And if you pull too hard, then it frays. So it's just a light, real light tension. See, it's just super light tension. Just enough to stop it from moving around on you. See, I'm pulling too hard there. Too much. Trying to get you close enough to where you can see what I'm doing here. Let's see if we can get it adhered to the sides. I might have to, once again, add another bit of Stixit here. We'll try it. Yeah, see there, you can feel that grabbing. Yeah, a little loose there. Huh? You gotta keep going back to the same spot here. Huh, that looks alright. I don't know about this side. It looks like it's trying to adhere. Hold it on there a little longer, maybe. It's getting quite warm. Yeah. We'll just stick a little bit, and I can get the nitrite on there and smooth it down a little bit more. Like I said, you can feel it. A little lift in here. There we go. Not too shabby. You can see my seam there. It's probably a lot more apparent in person than on camera. Okay, we're ready to start filling this thing, so I think I'll get started on that. I won't bore you with the details, and basically I'm going to go heavy on the edges and try to make those disappear, and then try to get, like around here, where I didn't have any sticks and we'll get the added hair down with the nitrite. So on to filling the fuselage now. I'll have to come up with a way to hold it. I got a couple ideas. I'll see what works. So anyways, I'll bring you back when I get this fuselage all clear coated. Alright, well, it's pretty late tonight. I'm getting ready to call it a quit, so I thought I'd wrap this video up tonight. I went ahead and, just a quick update here, I just went ahead and applied the first layer of nitrite to the bottom, since I got to bring it up to the level of the rest of it. So tomorrow, if I have time, I'll get on the other 2 coats. I did go ahead and give this a quick sand, and then went ahead and applied the last coat that I'm going to put on it, on the sides and the top. It turned out pretty nice. It is a lot easier to cut and trim. I'll try to get you a view here, if you remember what that looked like. it is a lot easier to trim it after you get the nitrite on. It's just like fiberglass. I mean, as soon as you get all the fibers joined together. Oh, I see a drip there. I'll have to sand that off. It's already hard. You know, and also sanding on it, you know, cleaning up all these edges, like stuff like this. You know, I wrapped this down and I wrapped it over for that purpose, was to, you know, if I need to sand like a bubble like that where it didn't get adhered down real good. I don't know if you can see that in there or not. See if I can get it in the frame here. See, it's right here. Sorry about my shakiness here. But you can kind of see where that's... I can see it for sure, that it's raised up. Right there. That'll sand right off. So, yeah, I went down here, went past the, you know, the wing sits here. We might have to knock some of this off so the wing will sit nice and flat. Since I didn't put there was no crossbar there, so I went right to the wing hold down bolt plate, I guess you call it. So yeah, I have not done anything with this one yet. I was going to, but I think I got the final coat on there. I might have one more to go. Yeah, keep it straight in your head, right? So yeah, so that's where we're at on the Flyin King. I think I don't know if I'm gonna have to. I probably won't have time to work on it tomorrow. I gotta go back out of town and then work next week. But next week we're gonna tackle these wings. I'm gonna go ahead and get the Bombay doors set up, get the servo mounts in, and all that kind of jazz. Get all that working. Fit the airlines and the flaps to the wings, and then it'll be a little bit of sanding, you know, and we're gonna start the process all over again on the wings. Get it covered and then get it into nitrite, because once the nitrite's done, then all I'm gonna wait to do is color. Like I said earlier, I gotta wait for I gotta order some paint for that, so I'd probably have to do that. I don't know if we'll get it in paint next weekend. It's probably gonna be a lot of the same with those wings, and then more on the extra. Sitting right there. If you haven't seen those videos yet, a lot of you have seen a lot more of these videos than you have of this. So anyhow, I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank y'all for watching. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. If you have any suggestions, if you ever done coverall and have watched this and seen things that I could do differently, I'm always willing to learn how to do things and you know, improve on it. This is coming out a lot better than the Spitfire did. So I might have to bring it downstairs once I get this painted, and then we can, you know, kind of do a comparison as to, you know, first time to, you know, second time. So anyhow, we'll talk at you guys later. Again, thanks for watching, and I do appreciate all you new subscribers. Keep them coming. I'm stoked on that.